Well, when it comes to getting financing on non-standard things, such as a mobile home or an RV, tiny home, there may be limited to no financing that a bank would give, such as a mortgage on a regular house. So one way to get around that, if you don't have cash to buy this non-standard item, would be to get a personal unsecured loan. They call a personal loan an unsecured loan because they don't use the collateral, meaning they don't use the object as a means to put a lien on. Like, as an example, if you got a loan on a house, they'll put a lien on the title, and it's not technically yours free and clear until you pay off the loan. When you get a personal loan, an unsecured loan, pretty much it just goes against your credit and your credit worthiness. And so there is no collateral. I know I'm saying that a little funny. There's no item to put a lien against. Okay. So the issue becomes then that because you have no item that is worth a certain value that the banks can use if you don't pay, or, being that the banks can't repossess an item such as a car or whatever, then it's a more risky investment for the bank. So what happens to you, the person who wants to borrow money? Well, number one is you're going to have a higher interest rate. That's the number one negative thing. As an example, if you got a personal loan, the standard interest rate is usually between 7 to 15% interest. A regular house loan at this time would be anywhere between 3 to 4%. So you're paying, 10 times more sometimes, or whatever it may be, 5 times more the interest rate. So the other issue is there is usually a max amount of money a bank would loan through personal unsecured loans. As an example, $100,000 is usually the absolute max that a bank will loan for a personal loan. As an example, Wells Fargo, very big bank in America, they do personal loans for $100K max, and the interest rate would be between 7 to 15%. I looked this up online, so you can do the same thing. And so these are the issues with a personal loan. Max you're going to get is $100K. You're going to have a very high interest rate, and you have to pay it back usually within 8 years. So if you borrowed $100K and you have a 7 to 15% interest rate, and you have to pay it back within 8 years, your payment is going to be a couple $1,000s a month or more easy. So, most people cannot handle, $2,000-$3,000 payment, and let's just say $2,000, depending. You can adjust, how long your loan length is, and you can't adjust the interest rate. But usually, if you go 3 years loan, the interest rate will be towards the 7%. If you go max, like 8 years loan, it'll be towards the 12 to 15% range. And so it'll vary the payment, but the payment will usually be between, let's just say $2,000 to $3,000. So, let's just say you paid around the lowest, $2,000 or even a little bit under a month. That's a lot of money for most people who are getting a personal loan. Usually if you're getting a personal loan, you may be on the lower economic scale, but not necessarily. You may just be using it as a financial tool, as an option to get what you want to get, and you're not able to get a standard loan for the RV or for the mobile home or the tiny home for whatever reason. And there is a lot more headaches when you go through a standard loan. You need to go through an appraisal. It's a little bit more paperwork. A personal loan, the pro is it's very quick. You get the money within the same week. There's no appraisal. There's no big fancy closing. There's just basically electronic documents. You click, you agree, and it's done. And that ease of transaction makes it more desirable. And so what I would say is a personal loan is an option. I would not look down on it. I've done 401k loans very similar, where you borrow money against yourself. I would say a 401k loan would probably be something to look at first, because you're borrowing money from yourself, you're paying interest to yourself, but they're very similar to a personal loan. You pay them back within 5 years, or if you're using it for a primary purchase, a 401k loan, you have to pay it back. You can pay it back within 10 years. You can stretch the payments out. But the issue with those is if you lose your job, you have to pay all that money back up front, or else you get hit with your tax rate plus an extra 10% penalty. So, that if you don't have the money to pay that back, that could be a little bit more risky. But, these are some options, many people do in society for many different reasons. Mainly the reason people go personal loan, it's easier, it's quicker. They're trying to get a loan on something that may not have value, so it can't be used as collateral. I don't know why I can't say that right in this video. So I was trying to figure in my mind when I was making a video, should I edit that out, the word? I probably should, but I'll leave it in there because you'll see that I'm human. Okay, so, and these are just some things I learned. I mean, again, it's like everything in life, well, I'm not going to say it's like everything in life. I'll say this. The general consensus, the general opinion of the financial experts is, in most scenarios, it's unwise to get a personal loan because of the high interest, because usually you're trying to get the money maybe for something that it's not proven it's a stable investment, and that's the reason you have to get a personal loan. It's a little bit more risky. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Because I don't want to be a hypocrite. I've done different things that, some people say is not wise. So, but it's just an option. Always know all your options. Always know all your options, because no one else has to take care of the consequences of your decisions like you. So you need to know all your options. Not Dave Ramsey, not anyone, but listen to Dave Ramsey. Listen to all the different people that at least give the other side of the coin, which is you need to be cautious. Whenever you take out debt, you need to be cautious. You need to know the seriousness of the debt, especially as you get older. And then you need to make your decision, And, these are just, again, some things I want to bring up for discussion, because I do a lot of videos about tiny homes, RVs. Well, not a lot of videos about tiny homes, but I do a lot of videos about RVs and about mobile homes. Okay. Now, RVs, you can get a 20-year loan in most instances for a new RV. But if it was a used RV with a lot of miles, you may not be able to get a RV loan. You may have to get a personal loan. Same thing with a mobile home. If the mobile home is brand new and you own the land, even if you don't own the land, you may be able to get a loan on it. But you got to go through the appraisal. You got to go through, it takes more time to do. It's a little bit more aggravating. And so, if the mobile home was older, and you didn't want to go through that process, or you couldn't go through that process, then you get a personal loan. And it's an option. It's something you need to seriously consider, because it's a little bit more risky option. You're going to pay more money. But you can get a personal loan calculator and online free, and you can do the numbers. Like if you took out a personal loan for $100,000, $100,000 for 3 years, and you had a 7% interest rate, how much do you actually pay in interest? You'll probably end up paying around 12%, around $12,000. That's if you paid it off in 3 years. If you paid it off in 8, it may be double that. Then maybe you pay $25,000 in interest, a quarter of the worth of the loan. So you got to run all those numbers, so at least you know. And it may be worth it to you, it may not. I remember when I had to get a loan, not a personal loan, but a car loan on a van. I had very bad credit. I had very little money at that time and very little options. So I had to get a loan for almost 25% interest rate on a car loan for whatever it was, 5 years. So, look, there's times in your life you do what you got to do, but certainly be wise, because getting behind the game of money could really mess you up. And so when in doubt, don't buy, keep it simple. But at the end of the day, again, look at your options, know your options. So I hope this video helped. If it did and you want to support the channel, click the blue join button. Click the thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you ever took out a personal loan. Check out my playlist, which has thousands of free videos, no interest rate on them. And thank you again for watching. Thank you for all my members. Buying something is scary. Getting a loan could be scary. A personal loan is less scary emotionally because it's very quick and easy. But it has some pitfalls, some negatives. Everything has a pro and a con. You make the decision for you. Just sharing some information. Thanks for watching.